What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Psalm91, U.G.D Entertainment. We are on episode 8. Nice. Today we're going to be mastering a song. Jump right into it. I don't want you guys to sit here while I'm talking. So if you want, share it. I don't care. I'm just going to do what I like to do. Yes. So let's jump right into it. So today I got this song that I want to master. It's like a country music song. Well, at least the instrumental on it's country music. I don't know. The vocals are maybe more R&B-ish. I'm not sure until the chorus. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get this going now. This is what we got. Now it's going to be quiet right now just because it's not mastered yet. And what you're looking for mastering a song is a nice small, the waveforms are small. They're not all peaked out all the way up to the tops and the bottom. You know, it's small, runs right through the middle. I can get a good clean sound with no clipping or anything like that. So this is what we got. I'll kind of skip ahead a little bit too. Into the chorus here. There's more country right here. So anyway, what we're going to be using is Ozone 9 and tonal balance. I love Ozone 9 now because I used to use the old Ozone where they didn't have any kind of an assistant. And you had to go through and know what you're doing and get everything up to the right specs and right sound that you're looking for, EQing, balancing, exciting, all that stuff you had to do manually, which you still do, but this will assist you in the process. And that's Ozone by Izotope. It'll assist you in the process. It'll bring out whatever plugins that it thinks that the song needs. And then you can tweak them from there. I don't recommend just keeping each plugin that it adds on its own. I recommend going into each of those and then doing some little minor tweaks, unless you really like how it sounds. Otherwise, you can optimize it by doing your own stuff. So generally in mastering, you want to go to the loudest part of the song and master off that. So I don't know, depending on how this goes, I might not do that. I'm going to do it first, but I might also, if I don't like the sound, I might go to a quieter that leads into a louder part so it, assists with both of those sections. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just pick a loud part of the song, and we're going to go ahead and hit this master assistant. I'm going to take my ugly mug off here for a minute so you can watch what it does. Okay, so what you're going to do in the Ozone 9 is you're going to go to I've already up here up top, I've highlighted just a section of the loudest part of the song. And so what I'm going to do is hop into the Ozone 9 plugin, and I'm going to hit the Master Assistant. So what it's going to do is bring you into, what are you going for? Obviously, I'm going to be going for, these are all three of your things. I want a modern sound, not vintage. Loudness and EQ, I'm going to keep that at medium. because that works for me on the stuff I do. Destination 3, it asks if this is going to be for streaming or if this is going to be for a CD quality. CD qualities are a little louder than streaming qualities are, or than streaming. Yeah, the streaming qualities are. Just because streaming platforms are going to compress a sound, change the volume of it so that it will fit with their platform, and they'll lower it. What I usually do is just hit CD because I do plan on putting these on disc at some point. So I want them that loud. Plus, when you upload to a streaming network, they can do their own compressing and stuff like that to get it to the volume they need for their streaming. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go ahead and jump into this. Oops, my bad. Okay, so we got all these three settings selected how we want them. Gonna go to next. All right, and I'm gonna be quiet for this because I don't want it to pick up my voice while it's doing this. So it's waiting for you to play the audio. If you have more than one audio track, remember to highlight and loop where you want it to just run while this is processing. If you have more than one track, make sure that you solo out that track that you want to master. Otherwise, it's going to take in everything that it hears. So I only have one track. I don't need to solo nothing. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to turn my mic off for a second and let it do its thing. All right, so what happened there accidentally? I had the cursor started at the beginning. It needs to be started at the beginning of this loop, and then it should go from there. So we'll go ahead and hit the master assistant again. We're good with all of I actually wanted on CD, so that's a good thing that we went back. Next, and now it's waiting for the audio. So as you can tell, as it was doing that, it's louder. Obviously, it's louder. It's up to a good loudness for a mastered commercial quality product. But like I said, after I hit this accept button down here, let me move this over. Hit this accept button right here. It's going to accept everything that it just did for the assisting of your master. So I'm going to hit accept, and these are the modules that it brought up for the mastering what it thinks it needs. So we have an equalizer, we have a dynamic EQ, and a maximizer that are all put into play right now. Now I'm going to add a couple things. I'm sure I want to listen to this and kind of see what it sounds like. I want to see an imager of it to see what what the waveform looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play it. I want to play it from the beginning though, see how that came out. And then we'll go from there. Otherwise, it did get a lot louder, so that's good. That's good. And it does its compressing and all that stuff. So this is what it was before it did everything. I just turned the threshold down a little bit so it brought the volume up a little bit more. Because I kind of wanted, if you can see this part here, I want these to bounce down somewhat close to this negative 0.3 decibel ceiling. That's just how I like it. You do it how you like it, and just make sure it sounds, you know, good to your ear, because you are the person that's making this happen. Oh, and also, as I'm going, everything I do, since I have terrible computer issues, I will save as I'm going, just in case it crashes, because my luck, it does do that. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of these modules here and see if there's anything else I want to add to it. You can add a secondary equalizer to it if you want to do some further tuning to it. The first equalizer they have there, it looks like it is just pulling down some of the higher frequencies. So it's leaving the lower bass frequencies. Some of the higher frequencies it brought down, it thought it could use that. If you want to do further EQing, you can add another module, one more, and do your own added to that. So, and the way these are set up here, you can organize them to where something has a priority over the other ones, which is nice. I'm not super technical in this, in Ozone 9, like I was a lot better in the older one, but it's basically the same stuff. There's a lot more things in here you can touch on than what I'm going to, but oh well, we'll do what we do what we have here. All right. And with this one, you can actually adjust the total vocals if you want the vocals higher, if you want the bass louder, or the drum kick. You can change any of these if you want. You can change any of these if you want, and it will actually just raise up or lower the gain on either the vocals, the bass, or the drum without messing with the rest of the mix, which is crazy cool. Anyway, I'll just give you an example with the vocals here. Catch me rolling through the city in my Chevy truck. I got the radio turned up. You totally turn them up. And it's turned way up. Or down. And listen, the background instrumental is still right where it needs to be. Awesome. I don't want to mess with none of that stuff. I'm going to keep it the way it is. I do want to go to my tonal balance to make sure this is in, the frequencies are all good, and they have tons of presets in there. So I'm going to do the frequencies for a country song. It'll tell you where everything needs to be. And the cool thing about tonal balance is it plays into the Ozone 9's EQ. So if you need to fix the low frequency, the mid-low frequency, the mid-high, or the high frequency, you can do that all in your EQ. See, Ozone EQ1. Or if you had the second EQ also added to the Ozone modules, it'll have another choice for EQ2 if you want to mess with something in there. So let me see what it looks like just with how they have it. All right, so it looks like our mid lows are a little low. The lows are they're up there. Lows are low because there's no bass right now. And now the lows are low. Mid lows are high, or they're not high. They're actually in a good spot. So let's get into the louder part of the song. Let me get into the louder part of the song where we actually did the assistant in, because that's where I should be doing this. See the highs? So it looks like my mid-lows are a little low. Good, good, good. I could actually raise up the bass a little bit if I want a harder kick to it. I don't know if I want to though. The mid lows, check. The mid lows are a little low, so I think I might go in and I'm gonna pop in the Ozone 9 plugin, and I'm gonna add a second EQ. I'm going to add a second EQ in here, and I probably want this before the maximizer. And then from there I can go ahead and hop back into my tonal balance, and then I'll have the option of the second EQ in here, which I can mess with while I'm in here to just, you know, get this the tonal balance to be within the pockets of each of these for the preset. This is, like I said, for country. They have it for heavy bass, EDM, folk, hip hop, all the way down to rock. They have all that. You can put that there. And this is another look at it. So I'll play it here so you can kind of see what this looks like. It goes through the high, mid, high, low. All the frequencies are there. So it's the same thing. It's just a fine view of it. I'll show you here. So like I said, right here, the mid low, it is a little low. It's still down. So I'm gonna mess with the third band frequency here, and you can change from bell to high shelf, low, high pass. I just mess with bell since you're only dealing with this one frequency here, or this one band, the low mid band. So let's go ahead and hop back over to the broad version of it and mess with it. So I wanna bring it up. And again, this all has, you can, this is for you, you know, this is just, if you want it to be within the pocket of these, then you can do that. This is just there for added help in making your sound a lot better. So I personally, when I brought that third band all the way up and it put it in the pocket a little more, you know, in the middle of it, I didn't like the sound of that. So it's my song. I do what I want. Anyways, let's check this out again. And if while you're listening, you want to hear it without a certain module that's in the Ozone 9, all the what they picked in the master assistance, all these modules. If you want to take one of them out, you can take one of them out. You can also solo it to only hear that module without the other modules. So I'm gonna just listen to the EQ with and without to see if what I did for the tonal balance to look better actually sounded better to me. So let's check it out.
Catch me rolling through the city in my Chevy truck.
With,
I got the radio turned up.
without.
And it's turned way up. All I know is I can't get enough. This is my town and I am alive. Yes, I fell in love. It's where I'm from. My home where I grew up. The town I met my best friend. The place I had my first kiss.
I don't know, I kind of like it with it in there. So we're going to go ahead and just follow the tonal balance instructions there and keep this EQ in there for now. A couple other things in here I like to do. Let's see. I just got to figure out which one it is. I want to widen. I like my stuff widened. You know, the sound to be widened out. And it's under one of these. I can do that with. Okay. So this is how I can widen it out the sound a little bit. It's under the imager, and the imager's nice. You get to look at this when the music's playing.
Catch me rolling through the city in my Chevy truck.
See how it's all
I got the radio.
is spread out, so it's pretty wide right now. If there was just one line of stuff going up, that means that it's not, you don't have much going on in the whole, you know, surround sound type sound. It's just a straightforward, kind of like not a mono, but it's more mono sounding. I like how it's spread out. All the stuff is bouncing way out on each side of this triangle right here, which is nice. So I know that sounds good, but I still like my stuff to sound a little wider. I'm gonna go ahead and just mess around with the stereo eyes, the stereo width, and see if it sounds fuller, you know, because that's what I like. I like that sound.
Catch me rolling through the city in my Chevy truck. I got the radio turned up. And it's turned way up. All I know is I can't get enough. This is my town and I am alive. Yes, I fell in love. It's where I'm from. My home where I grew up. The town I met my best friend. The place I had my first kiss.
So this is what I was talking about. If there's no width, no expansion of the audio, it's just gonna have this, like, I don't even know if you can see it on my.
Let's go.
There you go.
And take a trip.
It's just gonna have that one line if there's no stereo width in your mix.
Catch me rolling
And you don't want that. The wider you can make this, the more appealing it's gonna sound in your ears. At least in mine they do.
Catch me rolling through.
So I'll go ahead and widen that out a little bit. You can barely see it with my overlay on this stream. Anyways, I'm gonna widen it out.
Catch me rolling through the city in my Chevy truck. I got the radio turned up. And it's turned way up. All I know is I can't get enough. This is my town and I am alive. Yes, I fell in love. It's where I'm from. My home where I grew up. The town I met my best friend.
Once again, you can solo through these modules and just hear that module alone apart from the other modules and turn it on and off to see what it even did. This one I just had such a minimal change to the mid-low frequency or mid-low band that yeah, you're not going to really hear it too much. I don't know. I think we got a good sound here, and I'm gonna stick with this. I want to show you what this looks like once you bounce it down. So give it a second here. So we'll listen. This is a before and after. This is a before we started. Real quiet. Nothing's real compressed. The bands haven't been messed with. No EQ's been put over the thing yet. So here's with the Ozone 9 finished. Actually, one thing I want to do before we get into the bouncing it down real quick, I want to go in and hit the master rebalance. I like my stuff to hit, the drum to hit. I just want to see if I turn it up just the drum a little bit, that how it's gonna sound with the rest of the mix. Once again, as you make a little bit of progress, hop in and save, and make sure you click save as, because if you just click save, if this thing crashes, it will not be saved. I know that by experience, so hit save as. Anyways, it sounded good. I kind of like my stuff to sound a little more crisp, but I'm going to go ahead and just go with what it's giving me, and if I need to, I'll have it saved. I'll hop back in and I'll make it a little crispier with the highs, the higher frequency band, the trebles. sometimes I like my stuff a little bit more crispy, but we'll see what this sounds like when I put it in other stereos, other kind of devices, and see what the speakers pull up. If this sounds good, it sounds good. I'm fine with that. So let's go ahead and bounce this down. I wanted to show you the difference in the waveform. Like I said, this was brought in small. It's small. When we bounce this down, it's going to fill out the whole track. So let's go ahead and go to tracks. We're going to bounce to tracks. This is all new now. Great. So everything render in real time. No. 64-bit engine. Destination 2, track 2. That's good. All right. Power 3, yada yada. All right, let's go ahead. Everything looks good here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that back. Okay. Now let's bounce the tracks. Entire project. All right. So this is going to take a minute. I don't know if you can see, you can't see it on the stream overlay, but right up here above this, it's showing how long it's taking to mix down. Right now it's almost a quarter mixed down. And once again, I'm going to take my ugly mug off of here so that you can see a little more of the screen when I show you both of these waveforms. It's about halfway done now. Just put it in an intermission real quick so you ain't got to stare at a blank screen or a non-moving screen, whatever. Anyway, I take this time. It's about 3/4 done. Go ahead, if you like this stream, share it to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Put it there. Just share it. Share it. I appreciate it. I might be soon switching over to YouTube for streaming instead of Twitch, but I'm gonna figure that out in the coming episodes. Anyway, so we are done with this. I'll go ahead and put this back over. So I'm gonna just minimize these and then I'll drag them open so they open at the same width or height. All right, so the green one, is the new mastered version. And remember, the blue was before it was mastered. So I'm going to bypass the effects for the first track up here so that it's dry. It has nothing, or not dry, but it's the original that we brought into the project. And I'm going to show you something. Okay. So a lot of people see a waveform like this and get freaked out. They get freaked out because they're like, oh, it's clipping, you got it. It's all here, like over here, all the way. It's stretched out all the way to the top of the waveform. But I want to show you something. I'm going to go, let's go to okay, this one right here. It looks flat from here. The top of it looks flat. So if the top is flat on the green part, a lot of times that means it's clipping. It's too loud right there. But I'm going to show you something. When you master something, it compresses, it makes it crispy, it makes it sound good. It does all the things it needs to do to keep it from clipping, as long as you have your thresholds set in your maximizers and your stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right, and I'll drag it over so you can see. So where we had it and it was flat. It was flat up here. It is not flat when you zoom it in. It's all spikes. It's all spikes. There's no flat parts. This kind of looks flat right here, like there's a flat, like it's clipping. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that to show you. So I'm zooming, 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 zooming. The more I zoom in, I'm really zoomed in right now. Now I gotta find that spot. I'm zoomed in so far. Hold on. All right, let's go back to that. I think it was somewhere around here. So the further I zoom in on this, it just shows you everything comes to a spike. Everything comes to a spike. It's just, it's, it spikes, it's points. It's points that go up and down. There's nothing that goes up and it's flat. All right, so though this looks like a very full, loud track, it's compressed and it's in the pocket. We'll put it that way. So let's go ahead and do a comparison real quick to both these tracks, just so you can hear the difference on them. All right, we'll start with the first one. Actually, what I'll do is just stay in the first one here, and I'll just unbypass the plugins. And let's bring it into the louder spot so I can loop it for you. We're just gonna loop that spot right there. So this is before. This is when I brought it into Cakewalk, before I added the plugins. Like I said, Ozone 9 and tonal balance. Tonal balance isn't like, it's not a requirement. You don't have to use it, but I like it. It just shows me a little bit more visually where my frequencies and bands are. Anyways, so we got the original, and then here's the after. Before, and you can listen in the after, like the drums, they have that nice slap. It sounds good. I love it. So at that point, all you do is just highlight your track, make sure it's lit up. Not this one, but this one's lit up. This is highlighted. Solo that. You could even mute that for added assurance. Hop up into your file, export audio, and export it. And everything is done at that point. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Once again, it's your boy, Psalm91, U.G.D. Entertainment. And this was episode 8, Mixing and Mastering. Stay in contact. Keep watch on the channel. It's U.G.D. Entertainment for everything. Facebook, Google, Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. It's U.G.D. Entertainment for everything. So you could follow on all those channels. You guys have a good day. Be blessed. God bless. And be safe.